Okay, so welcome back to another edition of the Nerdcast. My name is Dan Schessel, and on today's edition of the Nerdcast, we have no Chelsea. Chelsea's gone today. We have Samantha is back. Samantha, say hello.
Hello.
Hi. It's so nice to have you here. I'm very excited. And besides Samantha,
this is Jordan. If anybody's watching,
Jordan.
I brought him with me.
I can barely hear you for some reason. I should probably turn you up here. And on today's edition, we are actually talking with our special guest of the evening is Bram, and he is from Fragapalooza.
Greetings.
So say hello, Bram.
Hello. So do I get to be Chelsea? Since she's not here today?
You need longer hair.
Hear anything at the moment, but that might be my fault. Hang on. This is great radio right at the moment.
There's the music playing again.
As I switch inputs from one side to the other.
Here at the Northern Nerd, we do everything right. I mean, we're not in kitchens or basements at all doing this. It's fine.
No, we are totally
anymore.
We are totally above board on everything we do out here.
Right? Totes my goat.
Totally professional. Yep.
All right, so later on in the show, we were going to talk a lot about Fragapalooza and what it's all about. But right now, I just sort of want to get to know everybody because it's been a long time since I've talked to you, Sam and Jordan. But I want to know, Bram, how was your week? This is how we start our show off. Basically, we ask each other how our week was, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, how was your week?
My week has been pretty busy with getting ready for Frag, but in personal life, it's been fun. I've been getting back into painting Warhammer, which sort of comes in phases. So, getting dirty again with the paint.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't never really done. I like when my miniatures are pre-painted.
Well, I enjoy the painting process more than the playing, so it's a bit zen for me to sit down and while away a day.
Nice. I also saw you playing Pokemon Go just before we.
Yeah, guilty, I suppose. Although I haven't been playing too much of that. I'm only level 6, I think.
I think I'm around 8, somewhere around there. My boy has been into it quite a bit. This morning I took him out again to one of the parks there that has quite a few of the stops, and we played for a bit there as he ran around in circles. It was a lot of fun. But Samantha, how was your week? I haven't seen you forever. Well, I've seen you, but
you mean
on the show.
Lightsabers when we didn't go to lightsabers, but went out for food instead.
Yeah, that whole time.
Oh, okay. Not just for out hanging out.
Yeah, I know, but everyone here hasn't seen you. I haven't seen you on the show for a while. So, what's been up?
How have been up to? Working, lots of adulting things. When you're like, oh look, let's mow the lawn. Didn't we just do that a couple days ago? Don't have to do it again. All my fruit trees are bearing fruit right now, so there's a lot of that. I have a billion cherries. If anybody wants cherries, let me know. You can just have them.
Can I have mine in pie form?
And apples. The apples are coming.
That'd be my wife's department.
I can provide you the cherries, and you can make them in pie form.
Perfect.
Yes.
I know Trina wants some, so she can have some of my cherries. And my raspberry bush has 5 raspberries on it, so that's exciting because we were worried we killed him last year, so that's cool. I don't know what else we're doing. Went hiking. Jordan's been up visiting. Jordan lives in Saskatchewan, so he's very far. So he's up this weekend because we have a new secret cosplay that we're working on.
A secret one.
It's so cool. It's gonna take I don't know why we picked this. I was looking at it and I'm like,
I have no idea what you just said there. You totally cut out for a moment.
Oh, okay. We picked this amazing cosplay and it's gonna be epic if we can do it the way we do it. but I have a feeling that I will hate my life in a couple months and start crying over my sewing machine, being like, why? Why did I pick this? Awful.
It was you. You did pick it.
Yeah, it was me. I picked it. It's all me. But how many fabrics did we hit this weekend? 5?
Yeah, ish.
5?
Sewing twice.
Yeah, we hit 5 fabric stores, a couple repeats looking for specific fabrics.
Did you check out the new cosplay
Because I don't want to order online.
in Sherwood Park? There was
I don't know. You've cut out completely.
Oh.
Sorry, Dan.
Did you check out a new cosplay store that was in Sherwood Park there? I think you're cutting out.
A new cosplay store. No, I don't think they carry fabric.
Oh, they don't?
I don't think they carry fabric, and they definitely wouldn't carry the.
No, we're having some issues with Samantha's in there. So that's okay. We are here. We're talking a little bit about Fragapalooza tonight.
Period.
But before we get to that,
So.
we'll talk a little bit more about some of the news items that we've had this week. And first off on our news list is a mini Nintendo. Did you take a look at the news items that I sent you today, there, Bram?
I did. Not many of them caught me by surprise, so I guess I'm with the news, which I wouldn't have thought was the case for me.
I picked the softballs this week, I think.
Oh, okay.
We usually talk about like space stuff, and I did more down to earth this week because I was more in charge of the news items. When my wife does it, she picks the weird, crazy ones that I've never seen before in my entire life. But yes, did you check out this mini Nintendo that they have?
I did. I'll admit that I was never allowed to play console games or even video games at my parents' place, and so I completely missed the NES, SNES generation.
Oh.
So unfortunately, it sort of hits a little bit far from home for me, but I think the concept is really bloody cool.
Yeah, I grew up with the consoles, right? That was a big thing for me as a child growing up. Consoles were always this huge thing for me, and especially the Nintendo. And this little Nintendo comes pre-packed with 30 different games. Like here, I'm just gonna list off the games here, just real quick. And can you stop me if you ever played any of these ones? Balloon Fight. Did you ever try that one?
Nope.
Bubble Bobble. Castlevania
Bubble Bobble.
2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr.
I might have played one of those for minutes at one point.
Double Dragon. The Revenge. Double Dragon 2. Sorry, the Revenge. Which is odd. They don't have Double Dragon, just the regular, like the original one. Dr. Mario. Excite Bike. I loved Excite Bike when I was a kid. Final Fantasy. Another fantastic game. Galaga. Sure. Ghosts and Goblins. I don't think I ever played that one for some reason, but I heard it was really good. Gradius. Ice Climbers.
No.
No. Oh, it was
No.
it was a cool game. Kid Icarus, also a lot of fun. Kirby's Adventure.
Nope.
No.
No.
See, this is the thing. Like when you have consoles, it's like a Nintendo thing, right? So,
I know.
Mario Brothers.
I can say yes to this one because the dentist's office had this set up in the lobby.
Yeah. Mega Man 2. I loved Mega Man. Metroid, Ninja Gaiden, Pac-Man.
On PC.
Yeah. Punch Out. This one's featuring Mr. Dream, which is not Mike Tyson. Star Tropics. Super C. Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3,
Maybe.
Tecmo Bowl. Not Super Tecmo Bowl. I love Super Tecmo Bowl. I didn't like Tecmo Bowl as much, but that's okay. The Legends of Zelda and Zelda 2 Adventures of Link. So yeah, like the list of games on here is pretty fantastic.
There's definitely ones I recognize, which shows that they're popular. Or were in their day, I suppose, popular.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I mean, at least they picked some decent games for this thing. Not all straight up Nintendo titles. Some of them are Capcom or some other the other names there. But yeah, it's definitely a good bunch. It will have an HDMI port on it. So for you streamers out there that you like to stream, there you go. It gives you a way to do that pretty easily. I think there's no way I'm being told that there's no way it will load any more games on it. What it comes with is kind of what it sits at, and that's it.
I think it's
Is
also
it
powered.
one player or two player?
It does have 2 players.
Dan.
It has 2 ports on the thing. It only comes with 1 controller. I think you have to buy the other one separately. But it's the same port as I think it's the GameCube. Let me just take a look.
Yeah.
No, not the GameCube. I think it's the Wii.
Does it look like the GameCube or the Wii controller?
Yeah, I think it's the Wii controller. So yeah, if you have one of those controllers, it'll fit in there, I believe. But other than that, it's pretty cool. I like it.
I'd like to see this for N64 actually, because that's when I started to get a little bit more exposure to consoles through hangouts with friends.
Oh yeah, yeah. 64 was always good. I mean, there's so many great games on 64. Same with the Super Nintendo. I really liked Super Nintendo and some of the games that they had on there. So I'd like to see what they do in the future here as they continue on. If they do any more of this. How are you doing over there, Sam? Are you still cutting in and out?
Yeah, you guys keep cutting in and out for us. I don't know why. Are we like normal for you or what?
No, I think it's on your end there.
Are your Wi-Fi's strong?
Talk to the computer guy right here. He probably knows exactly what's going on.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna come back. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna end and come back. Are you hearing me?
yes. All right. Anyways, we'll continue on. Another news item. Star Wars Celebrations.
I can hear you guys.
Nothing makes any sense.
Is here. Upon us. So yes. Anyway, Star Wars Celebration is on right now. Do you, Bram? Do you pay attention to Star Wars at all?
I love Star Wars. Absolutely love it.
Okay,
You can go by the Slave One in the corner. Got a little Millennium Falcon.
Oh, is that a? That is nice. That is nice. Is that one of those metal ones?
It is. Yeah.
I've looked at those and I'm like, oh, I want to get one of them at some point.
It's dangerous territory for me because once I have one, I've got to catch them all.
You got to get them all, right?
Absolutely.
It's like Pokemon. You got to catch them all.
Yeah.
So yes, they came out with some sort of like not a new trailer per se for Rogue One, but like a little behind the scenes thing that they did. It looks awesome. Are you pumped for Rogue One?
I am actually. After watching that, I had sort of intended to keep myself out of the Star Wars news like I did for the last movie, but that really actually got me hyped watching that. It really reminded me of the DVD commentary stuff that you used to see on DVDs, but seem to not find them anymore.
How about you, Sam? Have you watched the trailer or not trailer, but the behind the scenes for Rogue One there?
Heck yeah.
What'd you think?
Of course we did. I mean, like 5 minutes ago, but whatevs.
Yeah, surprise.
It was cool. It looked neat. We have a lot of friends who are over in London right now for Celebration, whatever. Celebration Europe.
Two.
Oh, it's only the second year. So yeah, they're over there and lots of like things being posted on like our Facebook feeds and things like that about it. So video looked cool. It's neat. I'm excited.
Looked like it had some really impressive artistic stylings and like stormtroopers walking through the water and
That was nice.
yeah.
there's going to be some things in that movie that I think are going to be really cinematic, in the sense of the way they shoot things. In this one, it looks incredible. I love it. I think it's going to be amazing. Uh, yeah, I am super pumped, and this little behind the scenes peek there just gets me more excited about what's going to happen.
That actress they found for Mon Mothma, that's creepy how much she looks like the original.
Isn't it? Oh my goodness, she looks
You
she
seen
looks
that?
bang on. Like,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that the same actress
no.
that's been
And Laura
de-aged?
Bates is in it again?
I'm pretty sure it's another lady that they just found that looks identical to her. They did her makeup. It's incredible. Yeah, she's scary how much she looks like her.
Same with Grand Moff Tarkin, actually. He looked pretty scary
Yeah.
in the earlier teaser, but yeah.
Yeah, no, this is looking pretty good. It's shaping up pretty nicely. Also during Star Wars Celebration, they came out with another trailer for Star Wars Rebels. Did you see that one?
I watched the trailer.
Have you been watching? Did you watch Star Wars Rebels at all? Like any of yours?
I watched the first season fairly religiously, and I didn't continue because it felt a little bit for my tastes. But again, a very good trailer might actually incite me a rewatch to see season 2 and see how it's going.
Yeah, you might want to check out the season 2. It gets really, really good at the end of the season. Surprisingly good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And now, like with this trailer coming out, oh man, I am pumped for season 3. It looks so good.
Were you a big follower of the extended universe?
Yeah, not a huge one. I did not read the books, but I do know that what's his name there? Admiral Thrawn. He's going to be now in the Star Wars Rebel. So yeah,
that's probably going to have a few people excited.
I think that's going to have more people excited about, if not anything else. So yeah, pretty awesome. Did you read a lot of the extended EU?
The only EU books I read were can't even remember them. The X-Wing books. I read the first 4 of them or something, but that wasn't until. Actually, I think that wasn't until after it was no longer canon. So it was more out of curiosity and on the recommendation of somebody else to check it out.
Yeah, I started reading some of the newer ones that came out here recently, and that's probably about as far as I've gotten. Nothing too crazy for me. Samantha's having some issues on her end with audio, but we'll keep chugging along here. And we'll keep walking along, actually, as we walk into Pokemon Go.
Hopefully not blindly into polls.
Yes.
I've yet to do that, thankfully.
I live out in Spruce Grove, and there is a park out here that has probably a good 30 people that kind of mull about the park, like the square. There's a few Pokestops there, and they just kind of like wander around all over the place. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I've been taking my boy, like I said earlier. He's been loving the game. I'm not a huge fan. I'm probably gonna piss a few people off with that one. But I don't like the game that much.
Well, I can absolutely sympathize with that because if you just look at it for what it is, it's a step counter, right? With geocaching built into it to incentivize step walking or getting your steps up, but there's almost no interactivity, multiplayer aspect. Even though, there's no point in even keeping the Pokemon you find because you level up, you're starting to find rare ones, more powerful ones. but it still definitely feels like a beta to me that has a lot of potential.
Well, you would think with all the money that they're making off this thing already, that they can maybe hopefully update it really quick. I don't know how fast you can get it to something that's actually decent, but it may take a while. But they got enough money, that's for sure.
Yeah, they also have to be cognizant of maturing it too far, because if they take that incentive to get out and walk, I think you take away the whole point of playing the game.
Oh yeah, like you need to actually go out and walk around. Like it makes you like it. You can't like. There's things in the game where you have to go a certain distance. You can't be driving. It doesn't count. You can't be going too fast, or it doesn't count. So it's essentially you actually have to walk the distance, which is nice. I don't mind the walking part, and I don't mind the being a part of the community that's kind of surrounding that. That's kind of neat. But overall, it's not like there's no game involved in there. It's just a lot of collecting, throwing the Pokeball, and catching. A lot of collecting. I'm a nerd, so I like collecting stuff. That's always fun. But that's pretty much it.
It's introduced some very unusual societal, or pushed on some boundaries. The local Poke stop across the street is the Mormon Temple.
Yeah.
The other church down the way is I've been to church more times in the last week than I have in my life. And unfortunately, all of the gyms within even like a 10-minute drive are elementary school. And big 30-year-old guy like me, I can't start going to elementary schools to play at the gym. So, like, what do I do if I want to pursue that? So it's really awkward.
Yeah, it's some of the stuff. Well, here's the thing. Like, it was built off of Ingress, which is another game that they created, which actually has a game involved in it. I played that one quite a bit, and all the stops in Ingress mirror into Pokemon. So if you go to any of the locations in Ingress, if you played Ingress at all, you know where all these places are on the map for Pokemon. They're identical. They're a copy. So I don't know. I liked Ingress. It almost makes me want to play Ingress again. Just for that. However, there's lots happening. There's still stories coming out every day about people doing crazy stuff, and one of them, we have one news item, is a guy got arrested as for terrorist threats because he was going to go out and shoot people, random Pokemon players, with paintball guns. And so
that's violence. So like, I don't know. I view it the same way as people are like, woo! Let's go to them sports recitals. Like, whatever. You want to go watch your football game or hockey or whatever? Good for you. That's great. You know, the fact, like, if you think here in Edmonton, when they all, like, the football games are happening, 111th and, like, 82nd is a shit show. But that happens every couple of weeks. And, like, nobody really complains because they're like, oh, it's just a football game. That's to be expected. This is just a new form of, like, entertainment and an activity. So, stop being a dumbass. That's all I really
It's a very Texan attitude to take, I think.
Yeah.
To take something that you don't understand, that confuses you, and threaten people with guns.
That's pretty much it, right? Yeah, and
Now, he wasn't actually threatening with guns. He was threatening modified paintball guns.
Modified
and going to do a purge. Yeah. Don't know what that entails, whether it was like a homemade BB gun or pellet gun or something, but really.
Yeah, no, it didn't sound very fun, and especially for people who maybe, were probably on the receiving end of that, probably didn't like that too much. He ended up getting arrested for that.
And there's that girl that walked out into traffic, and now her mom and her are saying they blame the Pokemon game, and I'm like, how about you blame the fact that your child was so distracted by this game They forgot the basic things that you were supposed to teach them.
Look both ways before you cross the street. I still do that.
And the distance is so far, too, right, when you're playing. Like, it's like, oh, it's across the street. I'll get it from here where I'm safe on the sidewalk?
I think a lot of people don't realize that the moment the Pokemon pops up on your little map, you can click on it. You don't have to be standing next to it.
Yeah. Yeah, you do not have to actually chase a Pokemon onto the road. As soon as it's on your map, you can click on it. The distance on there, even with the Pokestops, you don't have to be like right against them to get them. You could be a little bit away. I mean, it's within reason, but I mean, still, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't run into the road. Just don't.
Yeah. And don't go loitering at the police station.
Yeah.
Because it's a Pokestop. They might not like that.
No.
Oh, and you know, certain things like, hey, if you find a Pokemon in somebody's backyard, why don't you knock on their door first and ask if you can go onto their private property?
Stand in the backyard. Probably close enough.
That's true.
I did hear a story about someone who said there was a Pikachu in their backyard, and the guy like politely shut the door and went back and caught the Pokemon.
Oh.
That strikes me as social networking, just shenanigans.
Yeah, I don't get how it works, but it's pretty funny. What was there was a guy. There's another story here. A Florida man fires a gun at Pokemon Go players parked outside his home.
Well, like you also, as a Pokemon Go player, like you have to realize what it looks like to people who don't know what you're doing, right? Like they don't know. You two sketchy kids sitting out in a car in front of my house
in the middle of the night.
I'm gonna be like, what's going on?
You phone the police. You don't fire a gun.
Yeah, you don't shoot at people.
But we're also in Canada.
I know Florida. But...
Yeah, if you take the whole American gun thing out of the equation, it's still very important to realize that what you're doing is unusual. You're walking down the street, you pick up your phone to capture the Pokemon, you realize, oh, right in front of me is a woman and her dog, and that she might think I'm taking a picture of her. Got to be cognizant of that. As a rather large, bulky biker, I often ride around with my leathers, and I'm like, people might think I'm scary without any further context. So think about how other people might perceive what you're doing. And if you're deciding to stay out at 1:30 in the morning outside somebody's house with your car running, and somebody walks up and hears you say, "Did you get anything? Did you catch him?" It's like, conclusions will be made.
Yeah, you're either an undercover cop looking for somebody, or you're playing Pokemon Go. That's what's happening.
I think give it a couple more weeks, and everybody. I mean, at this point, I'm surprised anybody who doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, everyone's gonna know that people are just playing Pokemon Go. It's okay. It's fine.
I think Pokemon's riding a massive bubble right now, and in a couple weeks, it'll be a few diehards playing, maybe about half of the.
Yeah, when it actually gets released in Canada, people will have died off by then. Yeah. It's amazing that something that is not actually released out here. There's a lot of players that I still see walking around everywhere.
It is definitely more fun to spot the Pokemon hunters than the Pokemon themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, they're playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I know what you're doing over there. I see ya.
Because I'm doing the same thing. I can tell.
Usually they're like, come on, at their phone and like yelling, and you're like, aha, you're playing Pokemon Go. That's exciting. But like, okay, so we're only talking about the negatives about that. We should probably talk about some of the positives. I saw some mom's post on, I think it was like the Scary Mama blog group, where she was talking about how her autistic son now interacts with people socially, like making eye contact and things like that, because of this game. It's helping him socialize because more people want to do it, and things out of like, so he wanted to go to the park and that was out of his routine and stuff like that. So like that's something that's really positive. I mean, if it's getting kids Out of the
Oh yeah.
shells.
No, if you're getting your kid, like I said, my boy, it's getting him to want to walk. Like it's getting him out of the house. It's like, Dad, can we go play Pokemon? And that actually makes him physically go out of the house, which is always a good thing. Yeah, out of the basement,
But
out in the
like
yard.
on Wednesday, he wanted to walk with you.
Yeah,
He wanted to
yeah,
walk
he wanted to
to the
walk with
restaurant
me to the
because
restaurant, right? So we walked. I had to hold his hand the whole time because then I can make sure that he doesn't run out into the road trying to catch a Pokemon
yeah.
or not paying attention.
Right? And
But
then
yeah,
blame the game on your child getting hit by a car. You know.
yeah. But that's the good parenting part where you actually watch your child and make sure they don't run into the road while they have the phone in their hand.
Parenting done right.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. That's all our news items that we had tonight. Hooray, we made it through. And now we are into the meat of the evening.
And spotlight's on me.
That would be you, Mr. Fragapalooza here. Bram, what is Fragapalooza?
It's a LAN party, ostensibly, but it's to the people who run it. It's more of a computer gaming, video game geek festival that happens every year in the first week of August or weekend of August. Just massive gaming convention. Very simplest. That's what it is.
It's a big giant LAN party. Is sort of the.
Yep.
Awesome. So what sort of gaming things do you do there at Fragapalooza?
Well, it's a big bring your own computer space. You and your friends come. You set up your consoles, your desktop computers, and you play for 4 days straight. What you decide to play is entirely up to you. If you guys want to come and play one game all weekend, go for it. If you want to talk to some guy across the island and say, what game is that? How do I find it? And then you start playing games with them, you can do that. I am the tournament organizer for Fragapalooza, so I try to facilitate some larger, more official competitions. This year we have a Counter-Strike Go tournament, Overwatch, Rocket League, and League of Legends announced. And we're going to be running probably a few more smaller ones in there, but we haven't yet made up our minds as to what. So if you want to participate in that, you can do that if you want as well. It's really what you want to make of it, you can make of it.
Where is it held? Like, do you guys have a convention space? Is it like at somebody's house? Like, what is it?
Well, 300 people in somebody's basement is a pretty large house. But no, this held at Black Gold Center in Leduc for the last 3 or 4 years, I think, in one of the soccer pitches there.
That's cool. So can you, so is it just like one giant room, or do you have if somebody's like, we have a group of 20 and we're doing a raid on whatever, can they get a private room? Is that a thing?
No, it's all one common space. It's literally a soccer arena, soccer pitch, where we've all set up rows of tables. You have your assigned seat, but you can get up and move around as much as you want.
How many people typically show up to Fragapalooza each year?
It varies. In the earlier years, back when the internet was less capable than it is now, and network gaming was much more important, and you really had to fight for those pings, I think we had upwards of 800 people over at the Mayfield Convention Center. But in the recent years, we've sort of stabilized at 300, a very nice community of 300 people. I think this year we're at 287 seats sold, with, was it a couple more weeks to go? We hope to get that number above 300.
All right. So, let me ask you more. What is some of your favorite games that you like to play when you go to Fragapalooza, if you get a chance to even play some games?
What's a game? I have a group of friends that I ostensibly go with, but as I run the tournaments, I'm pretty much busy the entire event, either with the tournaments themselves or hooping, or getting other volunteer stuff organized. So I'm lucky if I can get 2 hours to play a game, but that's not a problem. I love what I do and helping contribute towards the community of local video games. So when I find time, it's like I have 15 minutes. I'm going to play a game of World of Warships or Warframe or whatever I'm feeling at the moment.
Nice. So when you typically, like, let's say, not at Fragapalooza, what are some of the games that you're playing at the moment?
Well, World Warships. I was playing a bunch of The Division recently. Warframe. I tend to play more of the single-player games. So I just finished Doom not too long ago. Put me on the spot. Sometimes I wonder if I'm actually a gamer.
Yeah, I feel that way too sometimes. Mainly because I have two small children that they play more games than I do now, which is I never really wanted that to happen.
And they're probably better than you at this point. It happens.
It's getting scarily close. I think I can still take Nehemiah, but I think I might have a struggle on a few of them. But yeah, no, he's been playing. We got Lego Star Wars, the new one, The Force Awakens, which is actually really good. I think it's amazing looking. But I only saw like maybe the first couple worlds there, and he's actually beat the whole game already. Yeah, he's super proud of that. He's like, yeah, totally beat that. I'm like, what? You beat it? Oh my goodness. He's 6 years old, and I'm like, oh my goodness, oh no. Yeah, he's so proud. He's like, oh yeah, I'm done. All right. So that's been on our on the TV mostly. But I don't know. I really want to try that new one from the makers of I can't remember what that one game is. Now I'm totally lost. I'll look it up later. But yeah, I haven't really had a whole lot of chance to play a lot of games lately. But more back to Fragapalooza. Where did the idea, or when did Fragapalooza begin? Like it's been a while running here, so.
Well, this is our 20th year event. It's not our 20th event. We've had 22 events in those 20 years. So it started in 1996 in a airport hangar up at the municipal airport in Edmonton here. People were...
Oh, yeah. City Center?
Apparently, I wasn't actually there that year, but apparently people were playing underneath blankets to keep the glare out of the hangar windows from bothering their gameplay. And it was a bit rocky at the start, but it took off pretty quickly.
That's when you start getting a lot of people, especially in the numbers of 800 people, that's insane.
I think the first year was 75 people.
Yeah. That's still, even for a first year of anything, getting 75 people to sit around and play games is not bad. And it's pretty awesome. For 20 years though, are you guys doing anything special for 20 years?
We have a bit of a red versus blue theme going on, and we're going to have the contestants in a red or a blue team, and we're going to try to pit them against each other in a bloody death match. No, not quite, but we've also fight to death. I think this year is going to be a really good year because we've been able to get some of our old sponsors back that we like Intel and Nvidia, along with Nate and BioWare. So I hope that with the contribution of those sponsors and all of our other sponsors as well, that we can put a great foot forward for our 20th year.
Nice. I have a question from one of our listeners here.
They're allowed to do that?
Yeah, there's an actual chat function in this thing as well. So if you are in our chat, and I know that there's people watching live right now, this one comes from Toadman, and he's saying, is there an age limit to Fragapalooza?
Good question. There is not. We are a family-friendly event, so we try to be supportive of very young to, I think our oldest that shows up every year is, I would be uncouth to estimate, but to the fairly elderly. I think we've had like 6-year-olds regularly prowling around. So, in that regard, with a drug-free, alcohol-free event, but anyone underneath the age of 18 either has to be accompanied by a guardian or has to have a waiver signed by the said guardian for the event.
Awesome. So yeah.
So do people like sleep in the convention? Like, what do you do for sleep? Do they leave? Do they just like crash in their chair? Do
It
people
depends
pitch
on the
tents
person.
in the aisles?
There is a camping space behind the Leduc Rec Center, which you can set up a tent or you can set up a small RV in the parking lot. A lot of people sleep in their chair. A lot of people set out a inflatable mattress around the perimeter of the soccer pitch and just crash there. We try to discourage that as much as we can because it can be a tripping hazard and we have to be cognizant of the fire lanes, but it is not a possibility. Some people will drive back home depending on how far they live. Sometimes they'll rent hotel rooms.
We have another question. This one comes from Stratio. I think that's how you say it. Sorry about that. Strat. All right. He's wondering what the prize is for CS:GO.
It's a hug from Sphincter, or it's from himself. Now, I know Strat. He's a funny guy. He's trying to play an inside joke. Get me riled up because unfortunately we never know what the prizes are going to be for our tournaments until the day of. So because of that and a few other things, we try to keep our tournaments a little bit more friendly, less esports professional tier.
Yeah.
So
awesome. We have another. The questions are just rolling in today. This one again from Tollman. He said he was wondering what the date was again. I know the date, but I figured you might as well say it now.
Yes, it's August 4th to 7th this year. So it starts at usually at around 10 o'clock in the morning or noon on the Thursday, and ends at around noon or 2 on the Sunday. And it's non-stop that whole time. We won't kick you out or at any point, as long as you're a paid participant. Anybody who wants to come in during that time can, if they have a participant badge or not, but it is limited to paid participants between the hours of 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. So.
All right.
What do you do for food?
We leave that up to
Who feeds
everyone
you?
else.
Do people bring in their own food? Do you have like a buffet set up?
It's in the Leduc Rec Center, and they have some food services on site, but by and large, people will go out to nearby restaurants, or they'll order in pizza. I think we have. I should double check this. We have a pizza sponsor this year who was last year. They were bringing in pizza orders at 4 in the morning, and Papa John's this year.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm sure we gave them a lot of service that year.
Yeah.
And we hope to again this year.
That's exciting.
Awesome. All right. How can people sort of register or find you guys? Where can people find out more information about where Fragapalooza is?
That's a very good question. I should have thought about mentioning that before, as a good promoter of Fragapalooza. We have a website at fragapalooza.com where you can go and you can create an account and purchase a seat. It's $95 at the moment for the full 4 days, which I haven't done the math, but it's, I believe, less than $1 an hour when you factor it in. We also have a Facebook page for Fragapalooza. You can just search for Fragapalooza, and we have both an event for the 20th year this year and a larger group for Fragapalooza. And I think we have a Twitter profile at Fragapalooza as well if you want to tweet at us.
Awesome. Yes, I did. If you guys follow us on Twitter, I did tweet at you guys earlier tonight. But oh my goodness, I'm getting so many messages at the moment. So yes, awesome. There's so much going on during that weekend, which is great. And you know, this is one of those things where this is one of those events that has just been going on for, like you said, 20 years, which is incredible to think about. And the community around just the gaming is just incredible. One of the other events you guys like to go to is the charity one. Oh, man.
Extra Life.
Extra Life. There you go. Thank you.
Yes. We've been working with Extra Life, I think, for at least 3 years. We've been helping them run their event because they're a similar network LAN gaming event, but they raise money for the Stollery Hospital.
Yes. Like, tell me a little bit about that. Might as well get some information about that. Do you know?
Unfortunately, I don't help run Extra Life myself.
No, just tell me about some of your experiences there at Extra Life. Because I went there last year. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was great. But yeah, I seen your guys. You had like a whole like section in the back there.
Yeah, we because we provide them with the network and we set them up. We usually try to have somebody on staff there to troubleshoot any network issues that might happen. We also try to promote our event a little bit. Other than that, we're more of a silent partner because we don't want to take any of the credit for what they do because they do a wonderful thing for the Stollery.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a really good, especially the charity. I mean, you can't argue with the Stollery, right?
Nope.
It's pretty awesome. But let's go back to a little bit more about Fragapalooza. Is there any other events that happen, or like anything else that happens during Fragapalooza?
It really depends year to year what we want to do in the moment. Every year we always have some sort of fun tournament, like a rock paper scissors thing, or a paper airplane throwing contest, or some sort of massive game of dodgeball, or other stupid human tricks like who can do the longest plank, or things like that. And there's usually prizes associated with those. People usually have a lot of fun with them, but really those are things that we try to come up with on the fly for the most fun. We also, on the late hours of Saturday, we often have odd scavenger hunts that send you on. So go find us like a book written by someone whose last name starts with V or something like that, and we'll give you a prize. Very random stuff, but I think people really enjoy it.
Awesome. All right. So is there anything else you'd like to mention before we close off the evening?
I'm sure there is. We have a call out for volunteers to come help with this event. We've had that call in the past, but if you're interested in not only attending but helping us out, we rely on our volunteers for a good number of things, from setup the day before to tear down after the event, running the tournaments, just coordinating security, all sorts of stuff. I believe we have a public email address for that, but it's probably volunteers@fragapalooza.com or contact us. Either way, there's a contact form on our website as well.
Awesome. All right. Quickly, before we leave, just run through all the stuff where people can find you.
Okay, we're online. Our online website is at www.fragapalooza.com. The Twitter account is @Fragapalooza, and we have a Facebook event and group, Fragapalooza. You can just search for that, and we should be the first result.
Awesome. Okay, so like I said earlier, there is lots of stuff happening in the next little while, and like I said, we like to keep up on everything. So August 4th to 7th, obviously, Fragapalooza is happening. So yeah, go to that. It's going to be awesome. There's also Animathon is happening the exact same weekend.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
We've been on the same weekend as them for a long time, and it's sort of become a running joke, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of people want to do both.
Yeah.
It's making it very hard that you guys make it, or both of you guys can't. You guys got to split off weekends here. Something I don't know.
Maybe.
So that's happening. And then there's lots of other things that are going on. You guys can find all that kind of information out on our website, northernnerdnetwork.com. Just click on the link at the top of the page, upcoming events, and we have lots of events on our calendar there. July seems to be really not a whole lot going on. August we picked back up again, but that might be my fault because I haven't really been updating it that much. Kelly from the Edmonton Nerd List has been feeding me a lot of events, and I just have been slacking on putting them into the actual event page. So, sorry everybody. I will make sure I get back onto that, doing that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for this show. You guys can find us, the Northern Nerd Network, all over the place. And you guys can find us at northernnerdnetwork.com. You guys can find us on YouTube. That's where we do a lot of our YouTube stuff. Our YouTube is basically our main thing that we like to do, where we go and cover a lot of events and different things that are happening around the city. And so you guys can check us out there at youtube.com/northernnerdnetwork. You guys can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search Northern Nerd. Twitter's at Northern_Nerd. And that's it. That's all. I want to thank Samantha for joining us this week, even though your audio has not been the greatest. It kind of cuts in and out.
We switched to my phone and it seemed better, so I don't know.
It does seem better.
Yeah.
And I want to thank Bram for coming from Fragapalooza. That was awesome of you to come and join us tonight.
Well, my pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
So that's it. That's all. I want to thank you guys for watching and or listening to this edition of the Nerdcast. And I'll see you guys on the next one. There's the music.